أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين سيدنا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين واللعن الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تعالى في كتابه المجيد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل عسى الله أن يأتيني بهم جميعا إنه هو العليم الحكيم. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات اللهم صل على محمد. We reach the point in the story. The story just keeps developing and getting juicier as we go along. The plot continues to thicken. And we got to this point where Yusuf alayhi salam, he commands the brothers, while the brothers don't know that they're speaking to their brother, that this time around I did good to you. I gave you, I was generous, I provided for you. And they don't know this yet, but in fact, that which they paid to receive the goods, Yusuf gave that back as well. Yusuf has been very generous. He says, however, the next time you come to buy more wheat and cereals and wheat from me, you must bring with you Binyamin, that 11th brother that you said you had and that you didn't bring him next time. And the brothers go, no problem. If you're gonna keep giving us wheat and that which we need, we'll bring you whoever you want. But the brothers speak like this. They say, قالوا, they said, سنراود عنه أباه وإنا لفاعلون. Tell me to jump, I'll ask how high. The wording that was used was سنراود عنه. Remember we said about Zalikha that راودتني or راودته. Rawada, we said, means to trick someone or to put them in a corner, to trap them in a way that you make them give up something that they don't want to give up. They said, we'll twist our father's hand behind his back and put him in a position where even if he says no, he's gonna say yes. You see how they're speaking about their brother and their father? Pay close attention. Flip the page. They go back to Canaan and they say that, look, that which we wanted, we got the wheat, this guy is good, etc. There's only one thing, we need one thing from you, and that is you gotta send us Binyamin. قالوا يا أبانا ما نبغي هذه بضاعتنا ردت إلينا ونمير أهلنا ونحفظ أخانا. Look at how they're talking now all of a sudden. Our brother. Softness, affection. Yesterday you said what to Yusuf? You said we're gonna take the boy, we're gonna grab him from our dad, we're gonna trick him, we're gonna do a number on him. Now when you need a favor, strategic affection. Now you're saying, Akhana, our brother. And so this strategic display of affection that the brothers show is to get something that they want. And so the question we need to ask is, are we like this with Allah? That when everything is good, flexing the muscles, puffing out the chest, I'm making money, I got good social reputation, I'm getting married, or I have kids, or I have a good house, paid off the mortgage, everything is good. And at no point do I turn around to say, Shukran lillah, Allah is the provider, Allah is the origin, Allah is the source. But when calamity strikes, all of a sudden now, Ilahi wa Rabbi man li ghayruhu. Oh my Lord, I have no one except you. I need you. You need him now. You need him now when the going got tough all of a sudden. What is our Binyamin? That when we need a Binyamin, all of a sudden we're on the prayer mat. What is it that's sending me to the prayer mat? This is why we can't relate to the dua. In the dua, when the Imam alayhi salam is saying that, "Oh Allah, I seek forgiveness from every pleasure that I felt that was devoid of your remembrance. Every moment that I didn't remember you, I seek forgiveness for it." We're like, what's he on about? Forgiveness? Do I look like a sinner to you? What did I ever do wrong? Our perception is completely different. The Imam is saying, I am eternally and intrinsically and by nature in need of you, Ya Allah, so don't turn me away. And I'm thinking, in need? Since when was I in need? I paid off the house is mine, I own it. I have 2 cars in the garage. Since when was I in need? And so only when calamity strikes, and insurance is after me, or someone stole my car, or my wife is asking for a divorce, now all of a sudden everything's getting messed up and we're on the musalla. What's our binyamin? What is that which is making me show this strategic display of affection as opposed to genuinely turning towards Allah in every moment of my life? And we also see how the tongue of these boys reveals what's in their hearts. When there's no need for being strategic, at that point they go to Yusuf and say, we're gonna trick our dad and take the boy. But when it comes time to needing a favor, at that point they're saying, Akhana. And we'll come in a few moments when we speak about the Yusuf's plan to keep Binyamin. There comes a point where the boys were saying, they were accused of stealing. They say, we're not a caravan of thieves. We're not a what? A caravan of thieves. We boys, we brothers, we don't steal. When they find that it was Binyamin, or it was in his bag, the item that was stolen, all of a sudden they go, yeah, about this guy, his brother back in the day, he used to steal as well. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, meaning their mom. These 2 brothers are from the same mom. These 2 brothers from the same mom and dad, they're the same. Hold on. You just said, we are not a caravan of thieves. The moment they found the chalice in the bag of Binyamin, yeah, take that one, this one. He ain't promised. Your tongue reveals your hearts. Don't just have good character when you need a favor from someone. Your character should be constant at all times. And we continue. The brothers show this display of affection towards or with regards to Binyamin when they need a favor. We know in our riwayat, however, that when it comes to our believing sisters and our believing brothers, we are told to visit them for no reason. We are told to maintain ties with our believing brothers and sisters, to visit them when they're sick, or perhaps visit them for no reason at all. No one is sick, they're just chilling at home, that you knock on the door and say, do you need anything? I was around the block. To show your brothers and sisters that you care for them without seeking anything in return, with no strings attached. Not because you want a favor from them in the future, because this guy's loaded. If I'm nice to him and I crack a smile, maybe in the future he may do me a favor and scratch my back. Don't just say akhana when it suits you. Oh brothers, display that love and affection at all times for the believers. Be lenient with the believers. Forgive the believers. And the other point is that when these brothers came back, you saw how Yusuf put the bida'ah back in the rihal. The ayah says, the stuff that they used to pay, whatever it was that they were giving. It wasn't dollars, that's for sure. Let's call it dollars. The dollars that they gave to buy the wheat and the cereals and the barley and whatever, Yusuf put it back into their bags. So they show up to Yaqub and they say, هَذِهِ بِضَاعَتُنَا رُدَّتْ إِلَيْنَا. Look, Yusuf, or they don't know it's Yusuf yet, the Aziz has given us our stuff back. Who is the person that gave your stuff back? The one that you stuffed into a well. Remember that? Yeah. When Yusuf becomes the most powerful, most influential individual in Egypt, he is the one that is in control of the silos that are controlling all of the wheat supply and the wheat sales. When he has the ability to say, you're coming crawling back, I don't think so. Here Yusuf displays forbearance. Forbearance is only for a place where you have the ability to take revenge. When you can't take revenge, there's no sense in saying that I'm patient and forbearing. You're patient because you're weak, that's why. When you can exact revenge on the one that did you dirty yesterday, that's when the test comes that can you be forbearing or no. And so Yusuf shows, besides the fact that we said yesterday he didn't want to charge his father, right? It's the father at the end of the day that has sent the boys to get the wheat. Besides that, when he has the ability to take revenge for how he was wronged in the past, he displays his hilm and forbearance here. Yaqub, when he's asked if they can take Binyamin, he says, قال هل آمنكم عليه إلا كما أمنتكم على أخيه من قبل. How can I trust you? When I gave you Yusuf, you said, we just want to go play. We're going to go do some archery and wrestling. And then he never came back. And you brought back a shirt with false blood on it, claiming that he was eaten by a wolf. Remember that one? Now you want me to trust you with Binyamin? Over my dead body. But then Yaqub says, فَاللَّهُ خَيْرٌ حَافِظًا وَهُوَ أَرْحَمُ الرَّاحِمِينَ. Brothers, sisters, people will fail you again and again. They'll turn their backs on you. They won't be loyal to you. But it is our job to fulfill our responsibilities when they call. Leave the result with Allah. Don't worry about the treachery and deception and betrayal of people. Place your trust in Allah. Roll up your sleeves and get to work. When responsibility calls, Allah is not asking for results from you. He's asking for your efforts. Allah wants to see you try. Don't worry about what the result is. Nowadays they're saying every day another martyr, another martyr, another high-ranking martyr. The people that we loved are being martyred. No one said that every single one of us needed to remain until the very end. Some of us will fall. And as we fall, we ascend. That's fine. Allah asks for your responsibility to be executed. He asks for your effort. You exert your effort. Whatever happens, happens. Either you become shaheed or you live long enough to see the victory. It's not important. Your responsibility is important. At this point, Yaqub needs to send Binyamin in order for the wheat to continue to return to Canaan. He says, look, I don't know if I can trust these brothers. Allahu khayrun hafidha. But if it's my responsibility, Bismillah, send Binyamin. Whatever happens, happens. And this is why Abu Abdullah on the day of Ashura says, هَوَّنَ عَلَيَّ مَا نَزَلَ بِي أَنَّهُ بِعَيْنِ اللَّهِ. I brought my 6-month-old to the battlefield and I'm taking him back as a rose without its petals. But it's under the vision and the view of Allah. If this is my responsibility, so be it. I can be patient because my Lord is a merciful Lord and He wants the best for me. And so Yaqub says, وَهُوَ أَرْحَمُ الرَّاحِمِينَ. But then he gives some advice. He gives some advice to the brothers. He says, قَالَ يَا بَنِيَ لَا تَدْخُلُوا مِنْ بَابٍ وَاحِدٍ وَادْخُلُوا مِنْ أَبْوَابٍ مُتَفَرِّقَةٍ. Boys, you guys have radiating, bright, handsome faces. You guys are foreigners, you're not Egyptian. The last time you went to Egypt, you foreigners got treated to a feast and a special banquet and a gathering with the Aziz of Egypt. You guys stand out. So the next time you go to Egypt, go through different doors, cross through different borders. If you go in all together, you'll attract attention. It's not safe. But then Yaqub says this. Do you know why Yaqub is saying this? Yaqub is saying, I just want to express to you that I'm concerned for you and I love you as my sons. Otherwise, I know and you know and God knows that if Allah's plan is not in accordance with my plan, His plan trumps my plan. He says, وَمَا أُغْنِي عَنْكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ مِنْ شَيْءٍ إِنِ الْحُكْمُ إِلَّا لِلَّهِ عَلَيْهِ تَوَكَّلْتُ وَعَلَيْهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُتَوَكِّلُونَ. He's saying if Allah wills that even if you go through different border crossings, that you get caught, you get caught. It's God's will. All I can do is offer you some precautionary advice. And so brothers, sisters, we take our precautions. We make sure we plan our plans. We cross the T's and dot the I's and make sure we know what we're doing. We don't just go haphazardly into the field and do whatever. But the result isn't with us. The result is with God. If God wills for us to endure a hardship or a calamity, we will. It is Allah, upon Allah, that the mutawakkilun rely on. Yaqub is saying, it's not like I'm coming up with some master plan that no one can, get around. If Allah wills for you to get caught, you will get caught. The brothers enter. وَلَمَّا دَخَلُوا مِنْ حَيْثُ أَمَرَهُمْ أَبُوهُمْ مَا كَانَ يُغْنِي عَنْهُمْ. They said, Yaqub said, go through different doors. They go through different doors. لَمَّا دَخَلُوا عَلَى يُوسُف. When they enter upon Yusuf, آوَى إِلَيْهِ أَخَاهُ. He says, that one. That 11th brother, give him to me. My long lost beloved. He seats everyone down in pairs. 2 by 2 by 2. Is 11 an odd number or an even number? It's an odd number. Which means that if you sit everyone down by 2, there's going to be 1 left over. He goes to Binyamin and he says, hey, you don't have a partner, you don't have a pair. How would you like it if I was your brother? What a plot twist. And Binyamin says, it would be an honor for me if the Aziz of Misr was my brother. However, you are not the son of Yaqub and Rahil. You will never be my Yusuf. When the world comes to you, tempting you, distracting you with its glitter and its glam, Binyamin says, my eyes and my heart are focused on the Imam of my time. I see everything, but I'd rather see nothing and only see Sahib al-Zaman. This is Binyamin's way of saying, Azizun alayya an ara al-khalqa wa la tura. Why is it that I see anyone and everyone and anything and everything, but I don't see you, Yabna al-Hasan? This is what Binyamin is saying. Binyamin is saying that it's nice and all to have you as my brother, but no one is Yusuf for me. And that's when Yusuf cries and he says, I am Yusuf. You found me. This is where he reveals to Binyamin that he is Yusuf. Do we yearn for our Imam the way Binyamin yearned for Yusuf and the way Yusuf yearned for Binyamin? By Allah, the Imam wants you, but if you don't want him, then you won't see him. Ali bin Mahziyar is coming every single year for Hajj. For 20 years he's coming for Hajj. In the 20th year, a messenger comes and says, Ali, your Imam is waiting for you in that tent, come with me. They go together to the tent, and you can imagine now, Ali bin Mahziyar is coming to Hajj 20 years now. He's about to walk into the tent of the Imam of his time. He walks into the tent. The first thing Sahib al-Zaman says to Ali bin Mahziyar is, where have you been? We were waiting for you. And he's going in his heart, the audacity. I've been coming here 2 decades now. He was waiting for me. I was waiting for him. Ali bin Mahziyar goes, Ya Ibn al-Hasan, Sayyidi, O Imam of my time, I've been coming to Hajj. And the Imam alayhi salam responds and says, no, I wasn't waiting for you to come for Hajj. Tell me this, Ali bin Mahziyar, is it the case that you treat your believing brothers back home with equity and respect, or do you not care about how they're doing? Because if you don't care for your brothers, how did you expect that you would get to see me and that you get my care and attention? The Imam wants to see you. The question is, do you? want to see him? Are you yearning for him the way you are meant to? Are you acting according to his will the way you are meant to? The brothers fill up their bags and they're making their way out. When they make their way out, the camels and horses that they were riding on, they close their mouths. Why? Because they feared that if they cross by people's stores, their ride, their camel, their horse, might violate the property in the stores of others. So good people, yeah? Remember when Yusuf gave the price that they paid back and he put it back in their bags? He put the bida'ah back in the rihal, remember that? The brothers came and said, we think you may have made a mistake last time. You gave us the price back here. This was yours. This is what we call trustworthiness. Brothers, sometimes people are trustworthy in business, but on account of jealousy, they can become treacherous. These same guys that said, hey, I think you accidentally gave us too much. We just wanted to be fair. I'm going to give you this back. These are the same guys that threw Yusuf in the well. Virtue and goodness is something holistic. It's not something that appears once or twice here and there. Don't think this person's a great person because in this one occasion he displayed goodness. Virtue and being virtuous is holistic. These are the same brothers that threw Yusuf in the well, and they didn't apologize either. They lied to cover it up. These are the same people that sold their brother. So they make their way out. When they make their way out, a caller, a mu'adhin means someone who calls. He calls out saying that someone has stolen the sawa'. The sawa' is a silver chalice with a golden lining. This is either the cup that the king drinks out of, or another usage of it is that they use it for measuring. So they'll take the wheat, they'll measure it in this cup, and that's how they know how much of what they're giving. They say the Aziz's chalice is missing. And they go, we're not robbers, we're not thieves, we wouldn't have done it. They said, okay, can we check your bags? Check our bags? We're telling you we're not thieves, we didn't do it. They said, okay. What happens if we find it? In Egypt, the punishment for robbery or for stealing was capital, execution. Yusuf wanted to keep Binyamin. This is a plan that Allah inspired Yusuf with. How can you keep Binyamin? Like this. Place the chalice in his bag so that when you find it in his bag, you can keep him for yourself. Why? If we were to judge Binyamin according to Egyptian law, he would have been killed. He goes to the brothers and says, you tell me, in your city, what do you guys do if you find a thief? They said, well, in our city, if you find a thief, the person that got his stuff stolen, he gets to keep the robber for a year. He goes, interesting. I get to keep the guy? All right, check the bags. And just to avoid any sort of suspicion, instead of going straight to Binyamin, he checks everyone else's bags. No, not in this one, not in that one. Check that guy. What do we have here? The chalice is in Binyamin's bag. And we said, the moment the brothers saw that, they're like, oh, about this guy, we should have warned you. His brother was also a thief, so these two are, cut from the same cloth. Very quickly, we don't have time. The story is getting juicier by the ayah. The story is that apparently we have some narrations. They may not be very strong, but we have some narrations that say that Ishaq, his son is Yaqub, right? Nabi Ishaq's eldest child was Yaqub's sister, meaning Yusuf's aunt. Okay? Yusuf's aunt loved Yusuf. Yusuf used to stay at her house, used to sleep in her house. She wanted to devise a plan to get to keep Yusuf longer. The belt, which was the inheritance of the prophets, the inheritance of Ishaq, was in her house. She tied the belt around Yusuf and then used Yusuf's shirt to cover the belt. Then when Yusuf was supposed to return back to his father Yaqub, she goes, Yaqub, someone stole my belt, look for it. What? The belt that was the inheritance of our father? Yeah, that belt, someone stole it. Then they check Yusuf and they see that, oh, it's around his waist. She goes, your son's a thief, he stays with me. We know that this was a plan out of love. The brothers come and say, yeah, Binyamin's brother Yusuf, yeah, he was a thief too. The snakes. They threw them both under the bus. But they can't throw Binyamin under the bus. Why? Because they made a solemn oath with their father that they would bring Binyamin back. And so they need to find a way to keep Binyamin. So all of a sudden now, they start to beg. Because when their own interests are at risk, all of a sudden they need to appeal to the mercy of Yusuf. فأسرها يوسف في نفسه ولم يبدها لهم قال أنتم شر مكانا. It says قال. This is very interesting. The word is he said. Ayatollah Jawadi Amwani, may Allah protect him, says Yusuf didn't say. When it says قال, he didn't actually say. أنتم شر مكانا means you wicked, wretched people. Why does Ayatollah Jawadi say that Yusuf probably didn't say this? Number one, because no one actually stole anything. This was a setup. Number two, the boys don't know that this is Yusuf. Number three, the boys don't know that whoever this guy is knows that these guys threw their brother in a well. So for Yusuf to say out loud, Antum sharrum makana, wouldn't make much sense. But the next part he does definitely say out loud, Wallahu a'lamu bima tasifun. Allah knows that which you're ascribing to Yusuf. You're calling Yusuf and his brother now thieves? Allah knows better. You guys are the liars. You guys are the ones that are plotting. And then they say, قَالَ يَا أَيُّهَا الْعَزِيزُ, allow us to keep him, etc. Then we get to this point, which perhaps might be our last point for the night, and the most important point of the night. And that was this. Number one, I'll mention one side point and the real point. Number one is that they offered to be taken as substitutes. In our fiqh, we have dhamin and we have kafil. Dhamin is a guarantor. If I give you a loan, I say, who's your guarantor that you're going to pay it back? He says, Brother Husain. So, Brother Husain, if he doesn't pay it back, you got to pay me. He says, okay, no problem. That's a guarantor. What's a kafil? Kafil is a substitute person that replaces a person. Meaning, instead of taking this guy to prison, take me in his stead. Yusuf says, Ma'adh Allah, I can't take one of you instead of him. Why? Because Binyamin's not a thief. The deal was, if we find the chalice in the person's bag, what do we get? You get to keep him. Well, we found the chalice in Binyamin's bag. No one said he was a thief. We just said we found it in his bag. Make sense? That was the side point, the real point. Why is the chalice in Binyamin's bag? The riwayat tell us, the Imam says, that our love for the Imam is our property. This is our spiritual inheritance. Wherever we find our love, we take and we seize that person for ourselves. No. It didn't sit in your hearts, no. The Imam is saying, if my love is in your heart, then I seize you for myself, you become mine. The Imam is saying, if you love me, then I keep you. Yusuf is saying, I have placed the chalice in Binyamin's bag because I love Binyamin and I want to take him for myself. And so when you see the martyrs ascend, Allah is saying, He loved me to show you that I loved Him. I took Him for myself. وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتًا بَلْ أَحْيَاءٌ. They're alive. The martyrs are alive. Where are they? عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ يُرْزَقُونَ. They're being sustained by their Lord, with their Lord, sitting next to Sayyid al-Shuhada. And then we come and we complain when the martyrs are martyred. Congratulations are in line. Congratulations are to be given to the martyrs. That when Allah loves you, He seizes you for Himself. When the Imam finds that you love him, he keeps you. Ma'adh Allah, I can't take one of you. My property is Binyamin. He loves me, and I love him. The story is interesting, but that's our time. Ya Allah, these are the last nights of the month of Ramadan. If in my heart there isn't the love of Sahib al-Zaman. Before I exit this banquet of yours and before I exit this month of yours, place the love of you, the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt in my heart and in the hearts of my family members, so that you may seize us and keep us for yourself and allow us to join the caravan of martyrs that have flown above and are sitting currently with Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salam. They say if you remember the martyrs will remember you when they sit next to Husain. Ya Allah, if there was any good that came out of our gatherings in this month, send all of it thawab to all of the shuhada, especially our shaheed as of late, Sayyidul Qaid. May Allah grant us his shafa'ah and grant us the ability to be raised with him and with his master, Abi Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salam, with the barakah of salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.